Hello to all my college football friends out there. Welcome to another segment of the Buckeye Vinny YouTube channel sports show. My friends, let's get right into this video, and it's amazing because when you talk about college football, okay, we are talking that college football is less than 100 days away from the first kickoff of the season. Wow. So, for me, I'm bringing a video and I'm going way back in the past. But for a lot of my followers, I know you will remember this very well. It was 1991 where we had to start the season. The Washington Huskies, coached by Don James, came into that 1991 season ranked number 4. And finished a perfect 12-0. And then we have the Miami Hurricanes coming into that season ranked number 3rd in the country, coached by Dennis Erickson, also finished a perfect 12-0. The reason why I'm doing this video is because, my friends, these two powerhouses, rich in tradition football programs, did not meet at all. They shared the title in 1991. Now, when you stop and look at it, these two teams were so evenly matched if they did face one another. We're talking about a Washington Huskies team that averaged a remarkable 41 points a game in that 1991 season. They were voted number 1 by the coaches poll by 9 votes. Miami Hurricanes that year averaged 32 points a game and was voted number 1 by the AP poll judges. So, my friends, there it is. Both dynamite football teams, both very well coached. And let me first start out with the Miami Hurricanes. They were led by All-American quarterback Gino Torretta. What a season he had in 1991. Passed for 3,100 yards, 20 touchdowns. His running backs were Stephen McGuire, big, strong, powerful back Larry Jones, sure-handed Lamar Thomas, and let's not forget Horace Copeland. This Miami Hurricane team was loaded on offense. Some say the finest team in Miami Hurricane school history. Wow. That says a lot, because let's be honest, the Hurricanes had some mighty fine football teams in the history of Miami Hurricane football. On defense, they were led by strong, physical Jesse Armstead, Mike Burrow, D-back Darren Smith, and All-American Darrell Williams. My friends, when you mention these group of young men at the time, again, not just the offense was loaded, but so was the defense. This was a defensive team that led the nation, giving up only 8 points a game. Phenomenal. This is also a Hurricanes defense that held their opponents 10 out of 12 games to 14 points or less. That is totally amazing. Again, only giving up 8 points a game. On the other spectrum, we are now going to showcase the Washington Huskies. Very well coached football team. What more can you say about this football team? They were led by quarterback Billy Joe Hobart. Passed for 2,271 yards in 1991 and 22 touchdown passes. Now, what was very interesting was Hobart went out with an injury. So who did they bring in? Mark Brunell. Does the name sound familiar? It should. Mark Brunell had a phenomenal NFL career for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Brunell was more of a running quarterback in college, where Billy Joe Hobart was the passer. Now, the running backs for the Huskies, Beano Bryant, led the Huskies with 943 yards on the ground. Let's not forget Jay Barry, 718 yards rushing, and Napoleon Kaufman, he chalked up 307 yards rushing. My friends, there's 3 running backs right there that almost rushed, or did rush, combined for right around 2,000 yards. Wow. On offense, they were led by Mario Bailey, wide receiver, 62 grabs for a little over 1,000 yards. And Orlando McKay caught 42 passes that year for right around 750 yards receiving. My friends, again, now this is a Husky team that averaged 41 points a game on offense. This team was explosive on offense. This was a team that defeated a very good Lloyd Carr Michigan Wolverines team in the Rose Bowl 34-14. It wasn't even a game, my friends. This was a blowout the minute the game begun. On defense, the Huskies, just like Miami Hurricanes, only gave up 9 points a game. Now, when I mentioned about the blowout to the Wolverines, this was a Wolverines team that averaged something like 35 points a game, and they could only muster 14 points against that mighty Husky defense. When you speak of the Huskies defense, you have to mention defensive lineman Steve Entman. What a phenomenal career he had in the NFL. Let's not forget All-American Dana Hall, defensive back, linebacker Dave Hoffman. And now, when you mention that big offensive line, you have to mention Lincoln Kennedy, offensive lineman, center Ed Cunningham, and offensive tackle Mala Mala. So, my friends, you couldn't have asked for more of an evenly matched game between the Miami Hurricanes and the Washington Huskies. But my friends, the game never happened. Okay? We're talking about, again, a Huskies team that was voted in the coaches poll #1, and the Miami Hurricanes in the AP poll was voted #1. So what did they do? They gave them a split and a share of the college national football title game. They shared the trophy. Can you only imagine if these 2 teams were to get it on back in 1991? My gosh. And I remember this. I remember this whole scenario playing out. And the scenario was this. Like I mentioned, in the Rose Bowl game, the Huskies pounded the Wolverines 34-14. In the Orange Bowl, Miami Hurricanes shut out a very good Tom Osborne and the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the Orange Bowl that year, 22-0. Shut them out. So, my friends, I think what they were hoping was to happen was for either Miami or Washington, one of those 2 teams, to get beat. Hope the other team won, and then that team would have been the national champions. Did not play out that way at all. My friends, could you only imagine one more time if these 2 teams would have gotten it on the field in 1991? My question to all of you watching today is, who do you think would have won that game? After all the facts I threw out, the edge on offense to me would have went to a little bit towards the Washington Huskies. Like I said, a powerhouse on offense. They averaged 41 points a game. On defense, slightly I would have had to given it to the Miami Hurricanes and Dennis Erickson. This is a team, again, that only gave up 8 points a game on defense, and out of the 12 games, held their opponents to 14 points or less 10 out of 12 games. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. So, my friends, once again, and I really want to hear a lot of comments. I want to read a lot of comments. Who do you think would have won this game if they would have played one another? Like always, my friends, if you are new to my channel, please click on the subscribe button. It is free to do so. Please smash that like button, my friends. I hope you do. And like always, please comment down below. Like always, my friends, peace out. God bless. One more time, the best college game that was never played. Who do you think would have won this game? Buckeye Vinny's out of here.